Hi everyone! In this video I'm going to use Cricut Design Space and my Easy Press to create this Sublimation t-shirt. I hope you'll enjoy seeing it done. And I'm going to be sublimating this unicorn image for my granddaughter. Apparently she's into unicorns this week. The original image is from, let's see, image info, image set. It's from this image set. I think it's very cute, but I didn't want to do such bright colors. So I'll take this away, we don't need it. I just went color by color and changed them to something lighter in my material color tab. So that's how I'd like to have it. I'm going to size it, let's see, 6.75 wide. And I want it a little longer, so I'm going to try 8. Yeah, I like that. That looks terrific. So all I'm going to do is select all, right click, and flatten. There's nothing to do with putting a background on it. If you notice the one in my layers panel, that is because at first I was thinking of sublimating it onto Cricut glitter iron-on, but I changed my mind and I'm just going to add it right to direct to the t-shirt so it's more permanent. So that's all we need to do. We'll go make it. It looks perfect. Don't forget to mirror. Whenever you're using infusible ink or sublimation, you want to mirror your image. And my sublimation paper is white, so I really have no need for a background on this. And I won't be cutting the image. I'm only going to print it. So we'll go continue. I go right to send to printer. Make sure I've checked the right printer. My Epson ET Echo Tank 2720 is the printer that I use for sublimation. When doing sublimation, you want to make sure you've turned your bleed off and use your system dialog. Press print. In the system dialog screen, you want to click on layout. You can see that I will have a lot of settings I can choose from, and that's because for the Echo Tank 2720 or any Epson printer that you're going to use for sublimation, you want to be sure to go to the Epson website and download the latest drivers. I believe it's version 10.85. The printer comes with version 2 or version 3, and you won't get all the settings you want for sublimation if you just use those drivers. So be sure to install the correct drivers. In our sublimation group, I've added a video that I used to install the drivers, and it was simple and it worked perfectly. So going on, I'm going to click on layout and go to print settings. Make sure you've got the correct printer selected at the top. I'm going to change my paper to premium presentation paper matte. I've tried several of the papers and this one did work the best. For quality, I'm going to choose high quality and select print to send it to my sublimation printer. And that's all we need to do to print it. I'll switch to my overhead camera and we'll press this t-shirt with sublimation and easy press. So here we are all set up to press our t-shirt. We're going to use Cricut Easy Press, and I'm using a Cricut raglan t-shirt. I think they are amazing. Whenever they're on sale, I build up my stash, so I always have some on hand. They're really terrific, 95% polyester, so you really get a nice transfer whether you're using sublimation or even Cricut infusible ink, which is amazing too. So before I did my setup, I printed my image. You saw that from Design Space. All I'm going to do, I don't cut it out in Design Space because the white sublimation paper is not going to transfer onto your press, onto your t-shirt. So I just roughly cut off the edges of the black. And like sublimation ink, you don't want to put your fingers all over your print. You don't want to transfer any oils or lotions or creams from your hands onto your colors. So you want to make sure that you're careful to touch it as little as possible. So we'll just cut off the black because this is all we need to transfer. We'll throw that away. I've had a lot of questions about what paper I'm using. I was recommended A-Sub 125 gram, but it was not available on Amazon. It was out of stock, and I really wanted to get paper and start trying out my Sublimation printer. So I read reviews, and this Koala 8.5 by 11 had excellent reviews. It's 123 grams, so it's just slightly thinner than the A-Sub, which is 125. And so far I've had remarkable results with it. It's really been terrific. So I'm going to set this aside. I want to show you what I was using. Here's our printout. I'm going to turn off my overhead lamp because I believe we're getting too much glare. There we go, that should be better. Okay, so I always put cardstock inside my shirt to make sure none of the ink transfers to the back, just to be sure, and also to protect my Cricut mat, my heat press mat. So I'm putting cardstock inside my t-shirt. In case I didn't mention before, I set my Easy Press for 385 for 40 seconds, which is the same temperature and time that we use for infusible ink. And I've been using the Cricut Heat Guide, even with the sublimation, taking the time and temperature for infusible ink, and so far great results. It's worked out perfectly. So next I'm going to take a lint roller and I'm going to press gently over my t-shirt to make sure that I've removed any lint that might discolor my press, my transfer. And also, if you don't remove the lint and you have a little lint specks in your transfer, when those specks come off, you might have little white dots where the ink has gone with the lint. So you don't want that to happen. So I always remember to lint roll my t-shirt or fabric, whatever. And if I'm doing a coaster or anything like that, I use the lint roller or a lint-free cloth like microfiber to make sure there's no lint on the base. So that's done. I'm just going to take my Easy Press and I'm going to warm for about 5 seconds. That's all we need. Get this wire out of the way. There we go, that should be good. That looks good. I'm going to take my printout and put it face down. We want to be sure to center it, of course. Okay, and unlike the infusible ink, we don't have an adhesive carry sheet, so you want to make sure that you use some heat resistant tape to hold your printout in place. You don't want it moving when you press or when you remove your press and causing ghosting on your t-shirt. I'm going to cover that with butcher paper. And we're going to press. We'll put the press straight down. Do not move it around. Press start. And I'm just using medium pressure. I'm not pressing too hard. There's no reason to do that. And we're going to go 40 seconds. So far, I have been super pleased with the Epson Echo Tank 2720 with the Koala paper and the Printer's Jack ink. It's been terrific. I love my infusible ink too. The pre-printed sheets are fantastic, but when you're doing something more complicated that requires a lot of layering, I think it's fun to use the sublimation. Okay, that should be done. We'll check our butcher paper. If you can see, there's some transfer on it. Even though it's light, I'm not going to use it again because I don't want to mess my next project by having that ink transfer over. We should probably wait till this is cooled, but I'm anxious to show it to you. And there we go. How gorgeous is that? So you can definitely do beautiful transfers by using Design Space, Easy Press. Just follow the time and temperature that you use for infusible ink. Use good ink and good sublimation paper, and you'll have gorgeous results. I hope this video will help you sublimate your own t-shirts or even use infusible ink on your own t-shirts. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and thank you for watching.